Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Dan.
This is Board Game Rundown. Today we are going to review Fearsome Wilderness. I don't know who made this.
Geektopia Games.
Thank you. Way to be on it. So Fearsome Wilderness, I don't know how they chose the characters they did because it's like, I guess it's American
Americana.
folklore,
Yeah.
except Calamity Jane was a real person.
Yes. Yes.
So, but anyways, so there's Johnny Appleseed, I guess was also a
He was
real person.
Real person.
Paul Bunyan.
Real person. Babe.
Babe the Blue Ox.
Babe the
person.
Blue Ox.
and then Calamity Jane. So you can
Real
play, you're basically these four characters that get fed up with modern society. They go off and they strike out and they find this new land. And it's really weird because like trees grow overnight. Like Johnny Appleseed plants a tree and it grows up overnight.
Yeah.
They regenerate. Like and some of them are nasty and gross, and they give you nightmares. And there's all these critters from all sorts of folklore,
Right. Jackalopes and snipes and
goofus birds and hoop snakes and hide behinds and guacases.
It's like Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, there's all kinds of crazy stuff. So yeah, basically, this can be played as like a one shot. You can play it as a campaign. Or in the campaign, I believe it's like 12 weeks to get to winter. Maybe it's longer.
It's important to note that we played the one shot for
We
this.
played the one shot, which is basically you play the first scenario.
Yep.
Where we are trying to cut down trees. We need 5 logs to then get to the shore and build a cabin. And the game is pretty functional. They give you these amazing miniatures.
yeah, they're super cool.
For the main characters. There you can go online, or if you back the Kickstarter, you can buy the STL files to print off miniatures for all
cool.
the other.
oh, okay.
That's all really the other
cool.
ones.
That's
Oh, yeah.
very
Well, that's
cool.
pretty cool.
So in the Kickstarter, they didn't sell you the minis; they sold you the files to print your
Sure,
own.
because
Okay.
it lowers it by $70. Sure.
I mean,
Yeah.
it makes it a lot cheaper, right?
Yeah.
I really like the artwork on the cards. You've got decks for trees. You've got decks for the monsters. You've got decks for your ailments, right? Your
Yeah.
conditions
The art's really cool.
that you can get. And then there's just like some basic tokens for
Right, wood
various
cubes,
things.
Yeah.
And then cubes are pretty much the
Generic.
for everything.
Yep.
Then you've got dice that you roll to determine like what actions you're going to get to take, sort of Yahtzee style. Up to 2 re-rolls after your initial roll. And then if you do attack a critter, there's critter dice, which then you might take.
Crackback.
You might take damage. You might take mutations, which
Yeah,
are
those are
awesome.
really good.
So far, they're
Mutations,
awesome.
yeah.
They might be bad down the road.
Right.
You
how
could
many mutations do you have?
you could get like a broken bone card, like Bob had a
Not so
mutation
good.
and broken bones.
That's
I had
right.
2 mutations, and I felt like a god.
Yeah, you're doing
It was
pretty
awesome.
good.
But yeah,
Thick skull.
there's there's X's, so you can block. Basically, you block being hit. I mean, you spend water to do it. You spend water to plant trees. You have to drink water and eat food at the beginning of your day. If you're at a well or at the shore space, you don't have to spend the water token because you're at the shore. And
Right.
right.
Where the water's
So I'm
at.
assuming
You're at
that's
a
not
Where the
salt
water's
water.
at.
I'm assuming that's not salt water.
Yeah, I think it's a lake.
Or it is salt water. We're going crazy, and none
That's
of
why
these
we're going
creatures
crazy. They're not
exist.
even real. Yeah.
But one of the really neat things that I thought in this game that we encountered is when you spend the night in a location with something that gives nightmares.
Yeah.
You draw a card off the top of the critter deck, and then so that's a hodag, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna
crazy card
go
on that.
to the hodag
Right.
in the back of the book.
So you're having a nightmare
And it's-
about like that.
It's like
or something.
inflicted by,
Yeah.
right, or
Yeah.
something. So then you got this unique nightmare, and you're going to go step by step, and so you're going to get some flavor text, and then you're going to roll a die and see if you wake up. A leaf, I believe, would have woken us up, right? It was a leaf.
That's how you wake up, Spencer.
Or a skull.
Right. So if you roll a leaf, you wake up, and maybe
And
you
take the
get
condition.
you get a condition. If you roll a skull, you wake up, you get the condition, and you take a damage.
It's also totally possible that was just for that nightmare.
Right.
Correct.
They could
Yeah,
all
we only
be.
had the one nightmare, but it was very
They could
cool
all be
how
different.
How it kept
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah, and what was neat is that Spencer got into this nightmare.
Couldn't get out of it.
multiple
And he
times
would
to try and
roll,
wake
and
up.
it's like progress, and it's like getting worse, and it's
Yeah.
like roll, progress, and it's like the tension is building up. It was
Yeah.
really pretty neat.
I like how every creature, and there are a lot of them, have their own nightmare scenario, and
Yep.
look
They're
at
all
these things
different
are crazy. They're
stories.
really,
Yeah,
the
the
art is awesome. This
super
book,
cool.
we just talk about that book.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that goes into components a bit, but talk about the best rule book I've ever seen. I
Well-
mean that thing's a hardcover book.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
I've got hardcover rule books for other games.
Cool.
Sure.
I don't,
They're
rich
nice.
boy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. I do
But
think
they don't normally come standard like that.
Right.
Yeah.
what I do think they need is a like a cheat sheet player aid card.
Yes,
That would
that's
be
what, that
useful.
was one thing I was going to say. I was going to talk about was the player aids. It would be nice to have something with like the with that on there and better iconography.
Sure.
Like on the board, like something to tell you that only 2 trees can be planted here. Or only one tree
Yeah,
can
it wouldn't be
planted
hard to
there.
have like a
Like
a
a little-
1, a
yeah.
2, a 3,
Well,
and a.
something
But
like
that
that,
might
yeah.
only be for the scenario that we played.
That is true too. That is
Fair
true
enough.
too.
Fair enough. And then the flip side of the board is like winter.
So,
So
winter
that-
themed for everybody out there who enjoys winter themed
So
games.
as you get further into the game, right,
Yeah.
you flip it over, and winter is more difficult. There's more.
Or, 'cause
reason
that's
for
what it means, is
difficult.
more
Oh, great.
difficulty. We
We
literally
only
got the
barely
last
made it.
The last
opportunity.
action.
Yeah.
we could have gotten it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
It was
pretty
the do or
crazy.
die moment, and thankfully we did it.
We did.
Barely.
Yeah, barely.
Yeah, because apparently Paul Bunyan does not know how to chop down a tree.
Yeah, he was the worst tree
I
chopper.
was facing the wrong direction, and they were just making fun of me the whole time.
Yeah.
No one was helping.
No, we
pretty
weren't
funny.
helping.
All I was doing was collecting food.
Yeah.
Sitting there, watching you guys struggle.
And
I
it
was
also
dying.
it also hurts because you start the game with like a
A
condition.
pre-existing condition.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 It's
Those
barely
conditions
covered
are
in this.
yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, it's really not that hard to learn and teach. I read the rule book and read through a bunch of it at the beginning, and I'm like, I kind of feel like I already know how to play this. Keeping
Right.
reading only kind of reinforced that because we've played other
Similar games,
similar
the mechanics work from like you think they would.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct. And I do feel like that this game is pretty intuitive. It works. A lot of it works the way you think it should. I kind of enjoy the simplicity of some of the components. I mean, it would look amazing
With
if you
upgraded
could,
bits.
if you
Sure.
buy
Oh,
the
get some wood tokens and
STLs
some water
and-
and minis for the guys.
and print the
Yeah,
and
'cause
print
these are
out
bad looking minis.
yeah print out the stuff.
Yeah.
It could be cool to have some trees,
Mhm.
tokens and
Oh
stuff
yeah,
like
creepy
that
looking trees.
to
That would be cool.
make the board really pop.
Pop.
But I felt like
works
this
fine.
was
yeah.
good.
Plenty of room for like as you move them down, like the
lot cheaper.
sections are big, so you can slide them down and.
And I
not
know
super crowded.
I
on
know
the
you
board.
don't love wooden dice, but I kind of feel like the wooden dice are on theme because I almost feel like it's
Yeah,
like
they weren't
components made out in the
Terrible.
wild, right?
Yeah, I'm usually not a huge fan of the wooden dice.
I mean,
but
it's
they
weird
weren't-
because they're lighter than they
They're
feel
very
like
light.
they should
Like,
be.
and
And
But
they never
or
roll the way
something.
you want.
they don't. That's something I always thought because because they have the 1 wound, right, and they've got like the 2 wounds, but the X looks a lot like 2 1 wounds, right?
Oh,
so they
right.
could have changed that iconography a little bit more to make it more of a cancelization, but I mean,
but again, I think it's trying to like.
still be like strife or battle. Like, ching, you're blocking.
Yeah,
that
I
one
guess I
hit
just
or
feel like it's
something.
like somebody made these out in
it's
the woods.
An X.
Sure,
X means cancel.
I guess,
X marks the
but it's
spot.
just like the same type of line.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's the only ones that are perpendicular.
Oh boy, here we go. Anyways, so components wise, I feel like it's all very functional. The artwork is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
The miniatures it does come with are really
Yeah,
good.
those are we didn't do anything to them. They
No,
came
no,
just
no.
like
My
that.
Calamity Jane's a little bendy on the bullet, but I don't care.
Yeah,
This
those are
guy's
little-
little
Just
things
shoot
are
you on
bendy, but,
corners. You know,
Nitpick,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
she
it's,
looks
it's
good, though.
probably the soft plastic you can reshape anyway.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
Since
Yeah,
it
heat it
reshaped
up a little bit
itself,
and bend
yeah.
it. Yep.
No big deal.
Nope.
No.
Uh,
big
yeah.
So
deal.
many nice details.
There's
on
there's an insert
An
here.
insert here. It's it's a pretty decent insert.
that yeah, I mean it just holds
It won't
everything
fit your
pretty,
3D printed minis in it, but
Right.
No, but it
it's
does.
got a nice space for everything else, though.
pretty good,
good.
you know.
And there's another scenario board in there,
Oh,
Comes
nice.
with
or I believe it adds.
breakfast.
Adds onto it
Always
something.
love that.
somehow. Looks like it adds onto the winter space.
What'd you do? Did
somehow.
you eat that?
Yeah, they're good for you. You never had one of those before?
But yeah, it does hold everything in. Like this helps hold stuff in. The pad holds
Oh,
stuff
sure,
in.
yeah.
The board on
Everything,
top
everything holds it all down.
holds it all down pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, so I mean
So we're
that's
gonna-
pretty much components.
Yeah.
Rule book isn't bad. It's actually pretty clear like when you are on the things you need to be on. But I do wish there was like this day and night summary is great,
Yes.
but you almost need another card to explain all the die phases, right?
Yeah.
You could have a front and a back. You could have a front for the for your folk hero dice, and the back
for
could be the critter dice.
Yep. That would be good.
Agreed.
Because this is not anywhere except for in the book.
Right.
Yeah. And so
Right.
we had to have that handy, which is kind of a large.
I mean, but again, you do it 3 times,
And you know what's up.
Yeah, it's
Correct.
not like
That is
it's
true
that
also.
hard, but for teaching or whatever,
It is nice.
or just quick
Convenient.
reference.
Yeah.
Because it would, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Because this tells you can heal yourself and you can plant trees and
All the extra little actions you can take.
it's really nice because we just progress, right? You just start at 1.
Everything is all simultaneous, basically.
And then you get to 7, and then everybody kind of goes around and rolls their die and
Yep.
figures out what to do.
And then when you do everything else.
And then you go simultaneous 8 and 9. I felt like there was almost 0 downtime when
Yeah.
we were
Oh,
doing
yeah,
this
not
game.
really.
Yeah, you're not sitting
Yeah,
waiting
because
for your turn.
we
waiting.
all do some of the actions at the same time, and then we roll dice and see what's happening. Yeah,
And I
we're
guess
involved.
I mean, we like difficult co-ops. I feel like this qualifies.
Yes.
This was the opening scenario, and it felt stressful, but in a
Very.
fun way. Like I
Right.
didn't feel like it was. I mean, slapping you around a little bit, but I don't think it was so much that you're like, this feels impossible.
And
Why
about
even
halfway
try?
through, I believe you said, "There's no way we're going to win this."
I said it on purpose because then we were going to win. Just like
Oh.
the other day, we were playing a game and I said, we can't lose. And Tim said, I hate you. And I, said, and I was like, yes.
Thankfully, we didn't.
we
lose.
had to get 5 of these logs
Log
over here,
tokens.
and I think we had 1 log token here. and we're halfway through the game. We're like, how are we going to get
Oh
the
yeah,
rest of these?
we got lucky. We got lucky with some trees that came up
popped up.
because.
You're welcome.
Well, actually.
But and some of them are good. Some of them give you nightmares. A
Yeah.
lot of them give you nightmares.
Yeah, or
Uh,
hurt you when you chop it down. Like
Right? Yeah, the rotted tree and the cursed tree, and they don't even give you any wood.
Yeah,
it's
so-
like, oh, these trees.
Yeah, I
suck.
love this one. This says, this dead tree is useless.
Yeah.
That's all it says on the card.
You almost need to get rid of it so you don't get nightmares, and then you can plant because it's taking up a space where a
Yeah,
tree
right.
Yeah.
you could use.
Still have to get rid of it.
So it doesn't really do you any good to leave it unless that's a space you can kind of ignore for a while.
Yeah, I do think that for me, the people you play with is going to change the feeling of the game, right? Like I knew with this group, you can kind of really get into it, and like you can really like. I mean, when like Spence was going through his nightmare, like I was like acting it out and like, oh god, and just like really getting into it. And I really think that upped the game for me to where playing with a group that's like takes this very seriously, I probably wouldn't have had as much fun.
Sure.
Right. And I think with this theme on it, there is going to be groups out there that want to take it seriously, and that could totally work for you, but it would lower it for me. I like the insane. I mean, literally, the end of the game was all of us sprinting to the the beach with our wood and like run. Like if we don't make it to the beach this turn, we die.
Right.
So it's a little dependent, I think, on the group.
I mean, I would say that's fair
Almost-
for a lot of
Yeah,
games.
almost any game.
Sure.
But I do think like games like this though, especially right, especially when you're reading and going through like a nightmare.
Exactly.
Correct.
You're
Create
going
like
through.
an ambiance.
Yeah. You want it to feel intense.
That's what I'm saying. Is it's an
And-
atmospheric game.
Yes.
And atmospheric games tend to be more group dependent than non-atmospheric games.
Yeah. Like they're-
Whether you like the dark atmosphere or the lighthearted atmosphere is up to you, but it is still atmosphere, right?
I think it does a good job of conveying that atmosphere.
And here's a nightmare that gives you options.
Oh, nice. A and B. Yeah, that's cool.
Nice.
Woof.
Yeah.
So quit reading ahead.
I know.
It's fun to get
Yeah.
surprised.
So Dan, how does the system work with our rating?
Oh, so we're gonna rate this game like a review. You're saying, Bob.
Yeah.
Got it. So we're all gonna state our personal opinions and rate the game 1 through 10.
Okay.
In case someone agrees with Bob or Tim more or something like that. Then we will average them all together so that we have one number that we can share on places like Discord, Facebook, Board Game Geek, so that there's not just 4 numbers plastered all over the place, because that would be confusing. So, Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to go first?
No, I'm asking you who you want first.
That's good because I want Bob to go first.
All right. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I had a good time. I really like the art and the critters that are coming out. I'm fine with the cubes. I probably would get some upgraded bits because that's just what I do.
That's you.
Yeah, that's what I do, right?
Right. And, well, you probably just have them laying around your house already. So.
I do. Yeah, because you can buy little kits,
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
you got them. Man, I had stuck with my pre-existing conditions since the beginning of the game. I was unable, like, multiple turns because I needed 3 to get rid of it. I would have had 2, and I was just
Yeah.
wasted. But I mean, that's okay. It's part of the game. That's how it worked. It didn't really take away.
Yeah.
The
I mean,
feeling
it
at
just
all.
makes it harder.
And
Yeah.
you still got
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot done. Yeah,
I did.
so.
Well, yeah, because my mutation was super helpful, right? So then I
Yeah.
was just, that's what I do now. So then I just killed critters, and but yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I'd probably give it a 7.5. I would recommend it. I'd play it again. I'd like to see what the scenarios and everything.
Oh yeah.
How the
scenarios
carries
get
over.
pretty neat.
Yeah, and like if do too many mutations later on hurt you? If you have 2 or more mutations, do you turn on your partners?
Right.
Who knows? We'll have to see.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spencer.
All right. I got stuck with the condition where I had -2 movement, which means I couldn't move at all.
Yeah.
It was just for like the first 2 rounds.
weary.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to move and then roll. So the first
Ironically,
turn I
it was
can't
your
go.
move that helps win us the game.
Yeah, I
by the
know.
end.
There is the nice thing with the Yahtzee system means I have more of a chance of getting rid of it early. And so even though I was stuck for the first 2 turns, I didn't
Well, that's
detracted
why
it
at the end of the
anyway.
game you were so stocked up on food and water.
Yeah.
Because after the
Exactly.
first 2 turns of the game, that's all
all
you
you
can
were
do.
rolling,
God.
yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wish that you could trade food and water because you guys are all starving and I had this giant
we
stockpile
might
of it.
be able to house rule some of that, or
And there might be opportunities between scenarios where you can try stuff
Exactly,
around
yeah.
too, so that we don't know about.
Yeah. I also like how all the little critters in here are based off of traditional Americana critters
Yeah.
that you find. The Sightel Gouger, the Jackalope.
Jackalope's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I like that. I love the art. I'm going to give this an 8.5.
Nice.
I want to play it again.
Yeah.
I'm going to show this off just for a little bit while
Oh,
we,
it's great. I
while we
love
talk
that book.
here. 'cause
Like the other thing that just to point out, right, is the iconography on the bottom of the card is really good,
That
really
is
helpful.
really, that is
simple,
really good.
right?
Yes.
And I'm
It
going
tells
to
you if it's a critter or a tree. Tells you how much wood, how
and
much it takes to kill it.
we kind of blew past this, but we do mention it often because we try to address like any potential colorblind thing because of the color scheme. I'm assuming there's no color issues,
no
right?
color issues.
Because
at
it's all
There's nothing-
iconography.
These
right?
are gray.
They are great. Yeah, I don't know. The guys just look great to me. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird. They're bright neon purple.
Yeah.
So Daniel,
Uh-huh.
how do you feel about Fearsome Wilderness?
I agree with pretty much everything everyone has said. Trying to think if there's anything else to add. I like the mechanics. I am a huge fan of Robinson Crusoe.
I was
I
going
talk
to
about
bring
that
that
all
up
the time.
and ask you.
Robinson Crusoe is much. I don't know what the right word
Harder,
is. Like
leaner?
well, like there's way more going
more
on.
to it.
So there's
More
like
depth.
Yeah, more
deeper.
depth, yeah.
This game is almost like simplistic.
Yeah, it's very
it's
streamlined.
Like it's a hard co-op, but what you're doing is so simple and streamlined. Like, hey, just do one of these 3 things. There you go.
Yep.
And with the Yahtzee style, obviously that kind of chooses what you can do and when you can do it. So you're manipulating those dice and trying to do that. We've all talked about the artwork is great. I'm gonna fall. I'm trying to think if there's any final thoughts because I thought there was something I wanted to mention. But I guess we should point out we are rating, as we've kind of mentioned throughout this, we are rating the one shot. Right.
Yes.
So that is what we're reviewing is the one-shot version of this game. Obviously, once we tackle the campaign, we'll go way more in depth onto what that entails. But as far as just the one-shot goes, I agree with everything that's been said, and I think I'm going to also fall on a 7.5. I enjoyed it a lot. Like when comparing it to other games, it felt a little simplistic compared to like Robinson Crusoe. I like those deeper things, but you're getting a nice, difficult co-op in a shorter, streamlined thing. So that's never a bad thing. Right. I do tend to prefer more complicated things. Right. But at the end of the day, getting a similar feeling in, 45 minutes or whatever, and having that tension of like, we won by 1 turn and like, oh my God, if we don't roll the axe that we need this turn, we're done, and like those kind of feelings are in here, and so it was teeter-tottering around. I think I'm gonna fall on a 7.5. It was a very enjoyable, fun time. I was laughing. I could have had some stand-up moments there, but my back hurts too much right now. So I'm not jumping up and down.
Yeah, we did have
Just
some
swinging that axe, not hitting anything.
did have
Very
some
bad
crazy
for you.
moments.
Yeah.
So, I don't know that you meant it as a negative, but like sort of the simplicity of it is one thing that I appreciate, especially like in the first scenario, right? Because things I believe will kind of ramp up.
Yeah.
There are going to be some other things that happen.
Sure.
But I mean, we were able to. I mean, I'd come in having already read the rule book and had a pretty good understanding of like the basics,
works.
right? We had to look up a few like fine tuning things, right? No big deal. But I really appreciated that it was easy to pick up and learn and then teach everybody here. And then we were able to play the first scenario with everybody kind of learning, and it was our first game in under an hour. And it wasn't because we lost really fast. I mean, this game does a lot of things right. I was kind of nervous when I opened it up, and it's like just the 4 minis and the well and a lot of wooden cubes.
Sure.
But like, Yeah, you get aching.
You're aching
You
back.
But having actually sat down and played, because I think the theme is like a little wonky. I think I would have tweaked it and gone in a bit of a different way. That's a nitpick. Once we're here, the theme is here, right? And it is what it is. It's the how they got there is kind of like a for me, but not a negative to gameplay. We're going to review the gameplay and my enjoyment of the game. This is an 8. It could definitely go up. It could go up to an 8.5 because it could get crazy.
Like
and
the scenarios and stuff.
and if you don't like the die rolls and the variability of that, well, then this may not be for you. But I'm going to say that Robinson Crusoe also, you rely, similar things. Sometimes you need some stuff to go your way, right? You can't solve it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, technically, you could always take any action you wanted in Robinson Crusoe without failing, but then you wouldn't be able to do everything fast
You're
enough.
not doing enough.
Yeah.
Right.
So
again, right, I like also co-op games that you can't solve, right? And so you need like the randomness and some risk and a little bit of push your luck, right? Because you're like, well, I could maybe, like, I won't take this food because I'll roll more food later, and things like that.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed sort of some of the decision making. I felt like we're pretty good about not being alpha gamers.
Right.
Well,
we give
all
our
but Bob.
ideas. Well, yeah. But I mean, like, we'll offer our suggestions, and then when you don't take our suggestion, we'll call you an idiot.
But I felt
yes.
But I felt like everybody got to do what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
We all were trying out different things. We got to see a bunch of the mechanics at work, right? Because Spencer took the nightmare, right? And we had the nightmare. We had broken bones. We had
Mutations,
Next time we play,
conditions.
I'm just standing around nightmare trees, just
just to see them all.
I just want nightmares.
But this provided a really good experience, like overall.
Yeah, so if you take all of our scores and you average them together, 7.9.
7.9.
That's
Pretty good. And this was, I was like, reading the back of the box, I'm like, this sounds amazing. I open it up, I'm like, oh, I hope this is good.
Yeah.
And we played it, and I had a really good time
Yeah.
and was not disappointed.
Well, and the thing I would take from the 7.9 is that was the one shot again. I have no doubt that all of our scores would go up for the campaign.
Oh,
yeah.
It's just the same thing but deeper.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And I don't know if they're planning on it, but there's so much room for expansions.
oh, right.
I mean,
tons of stuff.
Other
Pecos
folk hero,
Bill
other people,
and John Henry and all the other characters and all the different critters. And
I'm Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, you got Calamity Jane, but
Good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways, this is a really solid outing. I have never played anything from Geektopia games before.
Right.
This is enough for me to go, oh, it's pretty interesting. I'll definitely look at what else they've got coming out. But yeah, I mean, Fearsome Wilderness was a really good time.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Mitchell, for asking us about it, because
That's why we got to.
he asked us and we're like, we should check that out. And then we were lucky enough to be able to. And
So hopefully this showed you whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we'll tell you whether. Yeah, you should be able to tell if this sounds like something you'd like. But yeah, we had a really good time with it. Again, fantastic art, really fun components, and a fun rule book. So, anyways, guys, for the board game rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
Dan.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.